Hi everyone, it's Gillian. Welcome to my channel and another crochet tutorial. For today's tutorial, we're working on the rose granny square. Let's get started. To begin, you're going to start by making a magic ring. Chain 2. That chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. Inside the magic ring, you're going to make 16 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16. You're going to join with a slip stitch to the first double crochet stitch. And that's the end of round 1. For round 2, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to make a single crochet into the same stitch as the slip stitch. Chain 3, skip 1 stitch, and into the next stitch you're going to make a single crochet. And you're going to repeat, chain 3, skip 1 stitch, single crochet into the next stitch. Chain 3, skip 1 stitch and a single crochet into the next stitch. And repeat all the way around, and I'll meet you there. At the end of the round, you're going to chain 3 and you're going to make a slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch. And at the end of round 2, you should have 8 chain 3 spaces and 8 single crochets. For round 3, you're going to chain 1. Into the first chain 3 space, you're going to make a single crochet. Into the next chain 3 space, you're going to make 6 double crochets. Four, 5, 6. And you're going to repeat by making a single crochet into the next chain 3 space. Into the next chain 3 space, you're going to make 6 double crochets. Four, 5, 6. And you're going to repeat that sequence all the way around until you get to the end of the round, and I'll meet you there. At the end of the round, you're going to join with a slip stitch to the single crochet stitch. And that is the end of round 3. For round 4, we're going to be working on the opposite side of the pattern, and we're going to be working around the single crochets that we made in round 2. To begin round 4, first you're going to chain 1 and you're going to flip your work over, and around that first single crochet you're going to make a single crochet. Chain 3, and you're going to make a single crochet around the next single crochet. And this is going to be a repeat all the way around. Chain 3, single crochet around that next single crochet stitch, chain 3, and repeat. And can you continue with that sequence, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. At the end of the round, you're going to chain 3 and you're going to make a slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch that you made in the beginning of the round. and you should have 8 of those chain 3 spaces and 8 single crochets, and that is the end of round 4. For round 5, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to turn your work so that it's the right side is facing you. Into the first chain 3 space, you're going to make your first petal. You're going to make a double crochet. You're going to make 5 treble crochets, and to make a treble crochet, you're first going to wrap your hook twice, and you're going to go into the space, and you're going to pull up a loop, and you're now going to pull 2 loops off at a time. 1, 2, and 3. And you're going to repeat 4 more times. And inside that same space, you're going to make a double crochet. To continue into the next chain 3 space, you're going to make a single crochet. And you're going to repeat by making a petal into the next chain 3 space. So into the next chain 3 space, you're going to start with a double crochet. And you're going to make 5 treble crochets, wrapping your hook twice. That's 4 and 5 and 1 double crochet. Into the next chain 3 space, you're going to make a single crochet. And you're going to repeat that sequence all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. At the end of the round, you have 1 chain 3 space left. You're going to make a single crochet into that space, and you're going to make a slip stitch to the first double crochet stitch. And that is the end of round 5. For round 6, you're going to chain 2, and that chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. You're going to turn your work, and you're going to be repeating what you did in round 4. You're going to be working around the single crochet stitches from row 4. Around the first single crochet stitch, you're going to make a single crochet. Chain 3. And around the next single crochet stitch, you're going to make a single crochet. And you're going to chain 3 and repeat single crochet around the next single crochet stitch. Chain 3. And you're going to repeat those sequence of stitches all the way around, and I'll meet you there. At the end of the round, you're going to chain 3, and you're going to make a slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch. And just like you did in round 4, you should have 8 chain 3 spaces and 8 single crochet stitches. For round 7, you're going to chain 1 and turn. Into the first chain 3 space, you're going to make a petal, which is a double crochet. Five treble crochets. Remember to wrap your hook twice. You're going to make a double crochet into the same space, and then you're going to make a slip stitch, and you're going to repeat into the next chain 3 space, and you're going to repeat that sequence of stitches into each chain 3 space all the way to the end of the round. Double crochet, 5 treble crochets, one more double crochet into the same space, and a slip stitch. Repeat to the end of your round, and I'll meet you there. At the end of the round, I'm going to make a slip stitch to the first stitch, the first double crochet stitch. And that is the end of round 7. And if you want to stop here, you can, if you just want to use this to embellish a hat or a bag or something like that. Because we're going to make a granny square, we're going to continue with this pattern. For round 8, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to turn, and you're going to be working the same way you did in round 4 and 6. You're going to be working around the single crochet stitches, and around that first single crochet stitch you're going to make a single crochet, chain 3. Around the next single crochet stitch you're going to make a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet around the next single crochet stitch. Repeat that sequence all the way around, and just like in round 4 and 6, you're going to have 8 chain 3 spaces and 8 single crochet stitches. Make a slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch, chain 1, and you're going to cut your yarn and get ready for a new color for the next round. For round 9, I'm going to be joining in one of the chain 3 spaces with my new color, and I'm going to use a standing double crochet to join. To make a standing double crochet, you're first going to put a slip knot on your hook. I like to hold the tail end up against the fabric like this, and I wrap my hook and I go into the space and I pull up a loop, and you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to wrap your hook and pull through 2 loops, and wrap your hook and pull through 2 more, and that is your standing double crochet stitch. And I pull on the tail end a bit just to pull the knot to the back. In that chain 3 space, I'm going to make my first corner, so I'm going to make 2 more double crochets here, chain 2, and I'm going to make 3 double crochets into the same space. Chain 1 into the next chain 3 space. I'm going to make a cluster of 3 double crochets. Chain 1 into the next chain 3 space. You're going to repeat by making another corner stitch, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into the same space. Chain 1 into the next chain 3. You're going to make a cluster of 3 double crochets. You're going to repeat that sequence 2 more times, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. In the last chain 3 space, you're going to make a cluster of 3 double crochets. Chain 1, and you're going to join to the top of the first stitch with a slip stitch. And I'm going to fasten off here because I'm going to switch my color for the next round. And that is the end of round 9. For round 10, I'm going to join in any one of the chain 2 spaces with a new color, and I'm going to join the same way that I did before for round 9 with a standing double crochet. You're going to make 2 more double crochets into the chain 2. Chain 2, and make 3 double crochets into the chain 2. Chain 1, and working into the chain 1 space, you're going to make a cluster of 3 double crochets. Chain 1, and into the next chain 1 space, you're going to make another cluster of 3 double crochets. Chain 1, and now you're at the corner. You're going to make your corner stitch, which is your 3 double crochets. Chain 2, and 3 more double crochets inside the corner. Chain 1, into the chain 1 space, you're going to make a cluster of 3 double crochets. Chain 1, into the next chain 1 space, you're going to make a cluster of 3 double crochets. And you're going to repeat that sequence of stitches all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. Chain 1, and make a slip stitch to the top of the first stitch. And here I'm going to fasten off. For this pattern, you can keep on adding more rounds to this. Depends on what you're making, but I'm going to stop here. That's the end of round 10. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. Please like and subscribe for more video tutorials, and I'll see you in the next video.